and Dorks, this is Kiara and Sasha and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to make a little bit of an, well, I guess it is a bit of an informational video. Oh, that was a hard word, I'm sorry. It's a little bit about my experiences that I have had on the secondhand market, being either a seller or a buyer. So this is something that actually goes both ways. I have made a video in the past before on things to look out for when you're actually buying a doll on the secondhand market. Some tips, some tricks you could use when you're buying something. I will pop a link up there and down there if you're interested in seeing that video. But today's video is a little bit different. I actually wanted to just give some tips, some informational things that could actually make a sale on both sides just go a little bit smoother. Some things that I have experienced in the past that were just maybe just a tiny little bit annoying and made this whole transaction just go wrong, even just fall through, or just, you know, I've had people contacting me and in the way that they contacted me or just were in communication that just, I was like, I'm not sure I trust this, you know? That things just might fall through, but just because you're communicating in a certain way and that comes across as a certain way, but you actually don't mean it like that. Does that make sense? I hope so. Anyway, this is just a little bit of a video that I wanted to make that maybe somebody actually might find informative and might actually use in their future buy or selling experience. Like, let's just make this go smooth and actually make it work. So that's what this video is about. See it was a little bit as do's and don'ts when buying or selling on the secondhand market. So I have a few items listed here in my little book. And I'm just going to go buy them one by one and tell you a little bit about, yeah, those things, I guess. That's what we're going to do. So the first thing that I wanted to talk to you about is something that is, I think, personally very important. But before I do that, I wanted to, I almost forgot to say this. This is not a complaining video. Please don't think of it this way. This is just me trying to help you and future people and other people just make transactions go better and smoother and so much nicer and stuff like that. This is not me bitching about anything. It's not the idea of this video. All right, back to point number one. Point number one that I wanted to talk to you about is actually something that is very, very, very important. I think the most important thing when you are in a transaction, whether you're selling or buying, and that is communication. There's an actual person on the other side of your chat or on the other side of your messages, or that's a real person. Treat that person as a real person. Have the decency when you're contacting someone to just say, hi. That's not that hard. Just two letters. Just, hi. Could you please tell me how much shipping is, for example? Because I've had so many people contacting me and like just saying, how much is shipping? Well, hi, nice to meet you too. That's just so very unpersonal, and it just might actually put people off from actually buying or selling from you. In this case, is how much your shipping is actually selling to you. Or people that were just like, layaway okay, unless, oh, okay, just layaway okay, question mark. It's not even a sentence. Please, people, treat those people on the other side of the line like people like, do you accept layaway? There's just a few extra letters. It doesn't hurt to write them. Just treat them with kindness and respect. That just makes your transaction go so much smoother. That makes that other person on the other side of that chat or the other side of those messages actually think from, okay, this person is really interested. This person really wants to buy or wants to sell to me. It just makes things go so much smoother. And if you're just a little bit more worthy with your sentences, it prevents you from making communication mistakes. Just be clear and not just leave out half of your sentences and then later on say, yeah, but that's not what I meant. just be clear on what you're trying to say. Use those extra words and things will just go so much smoother, and people will actually enjoy doing that transaction with you. And if people enjoy that transaction and think, oh, this person was really nice to me and she really communicated well and she used real sentences instead of just words that aren't even forming a sentence, that person might in the future actually buy or sell to you again. It's also a bit of building a little bit of say customers or buyers, sellers that you like to buy from. If you have a bad experience, for example, on eBay or AliExpress, and that seller doesn't send you your items, or your items don't arrive, or they arrive broken, you're thinking like, I'm not gonna order from that person again in the future. You just go to then of the other people that have started selling the same thing. That's the same with selling dolls online. Just be nice, and those people might actually come back to you in the future, and they think, hey, I've had dealt with that person before. She was really nice. I might actually contact her again because I really want to buy or I want to sell from. That's how it works. So that's I guess the biggest tip. Be nice, communicate properly, and things are just so much better. Some other things that I'm sorry if I'm checking my book because I've got a few things and I don't want to forget anything. Another thing that is a part of this communication sphere kind of thing is I've had this multiple times. People are contacting me and you have this really nice conversation. Things are going smooth, and this is especially when you're the one selling a doll and someone contacts you to buy that doll and they ask how much is shipping, and they say, okay, I agree with that amount, that's not too much, I want to buy the doll. And then at the very last second, when everything is almost done except for the payment, you have the address, the shipping address, and everything is settled, and then people say, oh yeah, but I need like 5 months layaway. Yeah. that's kind of a thing. Are people saying like, oh, but I can't pay until like in 3 months later or something. I need like a hold. Usually when you contact someone, you know this on forehand. When you see a doll and you see like, I like that doll, I want to have it, but I will probably need like a layaway or a hold or something like that. Just be upfront about that and don't at the last moment go like, oh yeah, but I need like 5 months layaway, because that's just something that might put someone off from selling that doll to you at the very last moment. If you just say like, hi, I'm interested in your doll, how much is shipping? And then you get an amount and say, okay, I like that, but do you accept layaway? So that's not, or, you know, if you put that in your conversation a little bit earlier, that person is a little bit more prepared in going forward in that conversation. Because if you don't say that up front, that seller is getting the expectation of you wanting to pay like within 2 or 3 days. That's the expectation that you're creating. And if you at the last moment say like, oh no, but I need layaway or I need a hold, this person is like, whoa, hold up. I'm not saying everybody is like that, because I personally am someone that I'm usually a little bit flexible when it comes to layaways and holds and stuff like that. But I know there are people that like, whoa, hold up. That's not what we communicated. I thought you were going to pay, you know, within a couple of days. And that might actually put people off from actually making that sell to you. That like, yeah, but that wasn't what I wanted. That's not what we were communicating at the first point. That's never going to happen. I don't take layaway, or I don't take holds or whatever. If you put that up front in your conversation, you say that very early on. You both are not creating. You leave. How do I say this? You're leaving a little bit more room to for the seller to also say, well, okay, I don't do layaway, or I don't do holds. So you are not having this complete conversation on, how much it is and shipping to what, and creating this expectation for the seller and both you that this is going to happen. But and then having it fall through in the end because the seller doesn't take any layaways, for example, then you were like looking forward, I'm getting this doll, yes, this is going well. And then the seller said, yeah, but I don't take layaway. And that's also something that can happen. This thing goes both ways. Just be upfront about it, so both you and the seller don't get disappointed. And that's just, sometimes, yes, it sucks that people won't take layaways, because sometimes, yes, it is a lot of money. The BGD hobby is expensive, and I myself can't pay like $600 just in one go. I don't have that money either. And sometimes, yes, I do take layaway, but the way I contact someone if I want a doll and need layaways, like, hi, I'm interested in your doll. Do you perhaps accept layaways or holds? If you say that, then there is no hopes creating between you two, between the seller and the buyer, and then having it fall through and then both be disappointed. So I think that's the point I'm trying to make here. Another thing that I wanted to talk to you about is something that I know many people are a little bit annoyed about in this hobby, and that happens a lot lately with communication and just people out there. It happens, and oh wow, somebody's parking his car. The sun is shining in the windshield. Wow. Did you see that? There's the car. Where was I? Yes, flaking. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. There is nothing more annoying to both a seller and a buyer, and that is people flaking out. There is nothing, I guess, more disappointing than talking to someone, saying that person like, I want to buy your doll, I agree with shipping, everything is okay, maybe you even agree on a layaway or a payment terms, everything, you agree on it, and then when push comes to shove, when that person needs to pay you for your doll, that they say, oh, no, I'm not interested. Or just don't even pay and say nothing. That happens too. That creates so much distrust in this hobby. I mean, it's just, when you do that, it happens the other way around too. Like, I've had people that I was like, hey, I'm interested in buying your doll. And then we agree on a shipping, and we agree on the price of the doll, we agree on when I'm going to pay for that doll, and then like a few days before I need to make my payment, oh no, I'm not selling my doll, I'm gonna keep it. That's just such a disappointment that that's just really not nice to do. It's, if you have doubts about selling a doll, or just make a little note, like, feeler, I'm not sure about actually selling this doll. It's just one word, and that person that is interested in your doll knows exactly what's up. So that there is a chance of you actually making up your mind. Just put that word in, like, feeler, not sure. Just trying to feel if this feels okay. Because really there's nothing more important, annoying in this hobby than flakers. People that seem interested or are willing to sell and then bail out on you. Because you've been looking forward to it. You actually think, yes, I made this work. This is going to happen. And then it doesn't. It just doesn't. And there's just nothing more annoying than that, in my opinion. Yeah, I just don't have any other words for it. It's just, if you are contacting somebody either to buy or to sell, just be upfront about it, that you're thinking about it, that you're interested but you're not sure just yet. That leaves a little, that lets that other person know, like, okay, maybe it might just not work out. And another thing that I just want to say, if you agree on actually buying a doll, just don't flake out on the last moment and not just say nothing and leave that seller like, what's happening? Why isn't she paying? Or why isn't she not even responding to me anymore? That's just rude. That's just completely rude. Just, if it happens, I've had it happen to me before that I was like, oh, I'm going to buy that doll and then my car breaks down. Yes, I need money to fix my car. Just be like, hello, I'm sorry, but my car just broke down and I have to pay the bill. You can always ask, can we make another payment agreement? Can I pay like a month later? There's always, something that you can do, and just not just stop communicating, because that's just plain rude. I think I've made my point clear about that. Another thing that I actually wanted to say, and that is something that happens to me a lot, and that's the fact that I live in this tiny little country in Europe, which is called the Netherlands, and 9 out of 10 times when I put a doll online for sale, it doesn't stay in the Netherlands. People from abroad are interested in buying my doll, because the hobby here in the Netherlands isn't really that big, so the chances are really, really, really high that I have to ship things overseas, and that goes for pretty much everybody in this hobby. When you are buying a doll from someone who doesn't live in your country, just keep in mind that shipping might actually be expensive. Like, I've had so many people bail out on buying a doll from me just because shipping halfway around the world is just plain expensive. It's a fact. It doesn't matter in what country you live. If I buy a doll from, for example, America, I will have to pay a buttload of shipping. I know that upfront when I ask someone how much is shipping. I know that they will not tell me like, shipping is just $5. That's just not the reality that we live in, unfortunately. If that was true, that'd make this hobby a whole lot easier. But that's just not the case, unfortunately. So keep in mind that if you are buying or wanting to buy a doll from someone who doesn't live in your country, that lives halfway around the world, that shipping is expensive. And keep that in mind. Just makes it a lot easier, because I've had so many people contact me like, hey, how much is shipping? And I say like, oh, well, shipping halfway around the world is like $30. That's just a fact. And they say, oh no, that's way too expensive, I don't want it anymore. Like, yeah, but you kind of knew that up front, that if I ship from here to there, it's just not going to be $5. So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. You can always ask, of course, you can always ask. Sometimes there is like, it is not $30, it's like $20, so it's a little bit less expensive. You can always ask. But if something is shipped, halfway around the freaking world, just keep in mind that it might actually be a little bit too much. And, just keep that in mind when you ask somebody how much is shipping. And be nice about it when it is a little bit too much, because I've had so many people read my messages like, I have this option. I usually have a few options, some cheaper, some more expensive, that someone can choose from. So these are the options that I have. I know it's a little bit expensive, but I hope that's okay. Now people just not responding to me at all. Like, this is too expensive, I'm not going to go through it. Still, just be nice and say like, oh, I'm sorry, it's a little bit more pricey than I can afford at this moment, but thank you. That leaves, be a little nicer. That, makes this, just, if somebody contacts me and just doesn't respond after me giving you the prices, I'm like, yeah, okay, thank you, bye! Next time you come knocking, bye-bye, not gonna happen. That's what goes through my mind when something like that happens. Usually I'm not that way, but that does go through my mind. And I know some people actually act on those thoughts as well. So it might actually not be good for you in the future, So yeah, I guess about almost 20 minutes in. That's about all that I have to say. I hope these things that I've talked about actually might help you in the future. I think the main thing that I wanted to say in this video is just be nice to one another. Communicate and be nice. That's the main thing. That is what makes the world go round, I guess. So yeah, I hope this video was of value to you, of use to you, that you might actually have learned something from this and might actually use this in your future endeavors on the secondhand market. So yeah, I hope that in the future you will all have perfect transactions and that everything will go well and that you don't have anything bad happen to you, either whether you be a seller or a buyer. I just hope that everything goes well for you in the future, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, you guys know the drill, right? Now please like, subscribe, comment, click on the notification bell. You guys are freaking awesome. Thank you all for watching. I hope you'll have a very lovely day today, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Bye bye!